Hello friends, let's discuss current affairs. In today's first question, we'll discuss the Citizenship Amendment Act. Now, this was first brought in 2019, but considering that, there were elections and all that, it was put on the back burner by the NDA government, the prominent of which, is the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, again, we have election season, but this particular law has been brought in, it has been formalized. Now, what I want you to understand is that I'm going to discuss this particular thing in a matter-of-fact way without any kind of bias. I'm going to present facts. Now, this particular thing here is about, what does it say? Which of these following is true of the Citizenship Amendment Act? Now, the points here I'm going to put on the next slide, which is a blank slide. I put that particular slide for, as a blank slide only for this purpose. So what we should know about the Citizenship Amendment Act is that this is a law that is it pertains to foreign citizens only, foreigners. This pertains to foreigners. So it is not related to Indians of any faith, any denomination, any linguistic group. So it pertains to foreigners only. And what it does is it is persecution based. It is not faith based. Many people talk about this being discriminatory, but remember, it is persecution based and not faith based. Not faith based. So I'll tell you how this works. Not faith based. What are the provisions? This law talks of, expedited citizenship. Expedited citizenship for whom? For members of certain, denominations. Now, in alphabetical order, I could miss the alphabetical order, but the intention is to follow the alphabetical order. So, a person coming from 3 countries, what are the 3 countries? Afghanistan. So, Afghanistan, Bangladesh. A person belonging to Afghanistan, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, and belonging to the faiths of, or belonging to the communities, let's call them communities of, Buddhist. The person is a Buddhist, Christian, we have Jain, Hindu. Again, as I said, my intention is to follow the alphabetical order. I may not have followed. Do not mind too much about it. Okay. Jain, Hindu, Parsi, and Sikh. Parsi and Sikh. So, persons from these countries belonging to these faiths, these communities, and those of these people who had entered India on or before 31st December, let me make it in 4 digits, 2014. So, on or before 31st December 2014, if any of these persons had come from these 3 countries belonging to these faiths, such a person will no longer be treated in India as an illegal migrant. In India, how does the law define an illegal migrant? Remember, in India, there is no specific law related to illegal migrants, but India treats all refugees as illegal migrants. So, remember this, all refugees, all kinds of refugees, economic, political, social, whatever be the kind of refugee. The refugee is treated as illegal migrant in India. Now, how do you define someone being illegal? There are 2 ways of looking at it. One is that, someone who has walked into India with without proper documents. So, what's a proper document? It could be something that proves the citizenship of this person as the person belonging to some other country. Okay, or the best identity document would be passport. So, someone walks into the country. stays in India as, with a valid travel document. That's one. Sometimes it may happen that the person walks into the country with a valid travel document but overstays the period. So if someone's given a visa for about 15 days, the person stays beyond that period, then the person is said to be an illegal migrant. Okay. Third is the person comes in without any travel document. You got it? So any sort of migrant in India is technically an illegal migrant unless the law says otherwise. Now, any of these persons from belonging to these three countries, if they had come into India on or before 31st December 2014, they shall claim the citizenship of India as a right. That is, they no longer are illegal migrants. They already are citizens of India. How? The law says that usually these people, when they come to India, they would be asked to put in their papers, asked to apply for citizenship. They would have come to India to ask for citizenship. Now, under the citizenship by naturalization provision, a person must have stayed in India for 11 of the last 14 years. And also in the last 12 months, the person must have stayed in India. So two things. One, the person must have stayed for 11 of the last 14 years. Second, the person must have stayed in the last 12 months in India continuously. The thing about this is, my friends, this 11 years duration has now been cut down to 5 years. So that's how it's accelerated. So from 11 years, it has been cut down to 5 years. For who? For these persons the persons belonging to these communities coming from these three countries. Okay. So, we are in 2024. These persons have already been here for more than 5 years. So that's how it is, my friends. They already are citizens of India. Now, the only thing that is required here is they have to put in, an application, but they have an automatic claim over this. Now, the thing about this is, I have often been asked, wherever I have traveled, wherever I've gone, my classes in Hyderabad, elsewhere, I have been asked, in layman, ordinary people's discussion, see, beyond the classroom, there is life, isn't it? So, people have often asked me, why only these three countries? Well, the law is specific. It is specific about these three countries. It says these three countries are avowedly Islamic, are openly Islamic. Islam is a state religion here. Second thing is that, discrimination against non-Muslims is a part of normal life. This discrimination in these three countries could be carried out either by the state itself or by non-state actors. See, if you look at Afghanistan and Pakistan, it's a state itself that discriminates against religious minorities. It may not be the case in Bangladesh, but non-state actors like religious fundamentalist terrorist group or religious, fundamentalist groups have been working, against these community members. So, where will these people go is the bone of contention of the government of India. I'm not getting in there. So, now someone had mentioned that, what about religious minorities what about Islamic minorities in these three countries? Are they welcome? Well, they're not welcome. See, they are welcome to India. Please remember, anyone from across anywhere in the world, any Muslim from any country in the world, any Hindu from any country in the world can apply for Indian citizenship, but they will have to go through the normal process under citizenship by naturalization. So, if a Muslim from Afghanistan comes to India, the person is welcomed in India in the sense that we can offer citizenship, but the person will have to live in India for at least 11 of the last 14 years. Okay, so such is the case for a Hindu from Kenya or the US or Sri Lanka or anywhere else, from anywhere else. If a Buddhist from Japan comes to India for the Indian citizenship, the person will have to go through the normal channel, of 11 years, at least 11 years of residence in India. So it is not discriminatory. It is about persecution based. These communities have been at the receiving end of all this, in these countries. To give you an idea, in Afghanistan, at the time of, let's say, 1947, India's partition, there were 2 lakh Sikhs and Hindus. Today, there are less than 4,000. So, where did those guys go? At the time of partition of India, Pakistan had 23% Hindus. 23% of Pakistani population was Hindu, of Hindu denomination. Today, it is less than 3.7%. In case of Bangladesh, it was 22% in 1947. It is less than 10% today. Either people have migrated out of Bangladesh or they have been forced to move to convert to another religion, okay, which is the predominant religion there. So there is basically, it's about persecution. It's less about religion. See, if religion is an issue, then the Hindu from Sri Lanka could also be, could have been included here. It is not about that. It is not religion. It's about persecution, rampant persecution in these countries. Okay, I hope I have been very clear. These 3 countries because of certain reasons, those communities because of certain reasons, and someone comes into India on or before this date, belonging to those communities from these countries is a citizen of India automatically. So that's how things are, my friends. I hope I've been clear and I did not take any sides, because I am your teacher. I don't intend to take any sides. So this, okay, I need to clear this, my friends. When we are talking about all sorts of controversial issues, please remember one thing, my friends, that wherever you are, always avoid discussions on religion, caste, regions, food, and most importantly, cricket. As far as India is concerned, cricket also, because these are very divisive things in India. Who is this chap? This chap is Max Verstappen, my friends. This is Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen has, he won the inaugural Formula 1 race this year, in this year's season. The 2024 season started with the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and before that, after that would be the Bahrain Grand Prix. So this guy has won that. He is from Netherlands. He's from the country of Netherlands. You must be familiar with this country, Netherlands. It's also called Holland. In fact, it's called the Netherlands. Neither means under, underlands. 26% of this country's land is below 1 meter above, it's less than 1 meter above sea level. 17% of this country's land is below sea level. 17% is below sea level. Overall, 26%, 1/4 of the country's land is just above 1 meter. About 1 meter above sea level. So that's the reason, Netherlands, underlands. And he races for Red Bull. He races for Red Bull Racing. And remember, he is the world champion, between 2021 and 2024. So he's been there for a long, he's been there since 2015. But more important, that is when he won his first race. But, last 3 years, he's been the world champion. He has been clinical, very clinical in all these things. You look at this. Lewis Hamilton had won 7 world championships, which is a tie, with another great Michael Schumacher. So that's a bit about this. Sergio Perez is a Mexican. He kind of raced for, Force India Formula 1 team which was first owned by Subrata Roy, and then what's his name? Vijay Mallya. Yes. Okay, I guess this should be fine. And you see this logo here. This is a logo of Puma, isn't it? This is called the jumping cat. What is it called? Jumping cat. So Puma logo is the jumping cat, because Puma is a kind of a mountain cat and it is jumping. That's why it's a mountain, jumping cat, nothing else. Okay, we have something more here. We have, Anurag Singh Thakur, who is the Youth Affairs and Sports Minister, who has inaugurated a talent, hunt program called Kirti, which stands for Khelo India Rising Talent Identification. I actually don't like to read the question because you can read it for yourself. But a little about this, my friends. Khelo India is, under this particular thing, an an identified athlete, an identified player, someone who's been shortlisted, as a great talent or a good talent, someone who could be groomed, would be given 5 lakh rupees per annum. 5 lakh rupees per annum. Okay, for 8 years. For 8 years, this athlete would be given 5 lakh rupees per annum for training and, of course, other equipment, basically training and training related equipment. So this is how India is now, and that's why we have been doing quite well in the recent sporting championships, across the world. From here, let's go to the new Chief Minister of Haryana. Who is the new Chief Minister of Haryana? This is Naib Singh Saini. Naib Singh Saini. He replaced Manohar Lal Khattar. Manohar Lal Khattar. So Manohar Lal Khattar was replaced by this man, Naib Singh Saini. Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu is Himachal Pradesh's CM. So these are all CMs. Let's look at their states. Sukhwinder Sukhu is the Chief Minister of Haryana. Himachal Pradesh. Manik Saha, Tripura. Pushkar Singh Dhami, is the CM of Uttarakhand, and Vishnu Dev Sai is the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh. Okay, so Chhattisgarh, first one Chhattisgarh, second one Uttarakhand, third Tripura, fifth is Himachal Pradesh. Okay, with which institution has the Central Water Commission forged a partnership for establishing the International Center of Excellence for Dams? Now, this is a particular, this is a center for study of, a deep study of dams, how good they, should dams be built, their safety and their designs, architecture, everything, is what this particular center would do. And this is going to be established at the Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. Okay. Now, as far as the Central Water Commission is concerned, it is headed by Chairperson, Kushwinder Vohra. Kushwinder Vohra is also the chairperson of the National Commission for Dam Safety. National Commission for Dam Safety. Okay. He's also the chairperson of the National Commission for Dam Safety. So let me repeat. Kushwinder Vohra is the chairperson of the Central Water Commission as well as the National Commission for Dam Safety. Okay, I guess that's about it. There's hardly anything else that we could discuss about this question. But there's a lot to discuss, my friends. This is one of my favorite writers, Amitav Ghosh. Yeah, Amitav Ghosh has won the recent, 2024 Erasmus Prize. This is given for to someone who's contributed significantly to making a better world, towards making a better world, especially for their contribution to science and technology, social sciences, environment, and all that. Now, this guy, Amitav Ghosh, is a great writer. I would say a kind of writer you should read. He is the author of multiple books, but 2 books stand out, especially because of this particular, he explores climate change in these 2 books. One is The Great Derangement. This is a book that will captivate you if you are interested in this subject. The Great Derangement. Derangement is more of madness, my friends. Okay. The Great Derangement. He is also the author of another book called The Nutmeg's Curse. The nutmeg is a kind of a spice. If you are the reading type, please read this. The second book is a very good book. It will tell you a lot about geography as well. But he is world famous for his books like the Ibis trilogy, IBIS trilogy. It's the name of a boat, actually. He traces the story of immigrants, Indian immigrants around the world. Like the first book is Sea of Poppies, followed by River of Smoke and Flood of Fire. 3 books, actually. Yeah, quite fatty books. Not kind of books that most people would even, would like to gather and hold them in their hands. But if you are the reading type, as I said, Great guy to read. Coming to Arundhati Roy, she is the author of books like The God of Small Things, which won the Booker Prize in 1997. Okay. Now, coming to Arvind Adiga, he won the Booker Prize for his book called The White Tiger. The White Tiger. The White Tiger. Jhumpa Lahiri. Jhumpa Lahiri is the winner of books like, winner of, the Pulitzer Prize for a book like The Interpreter of Maladies. The Interpreter of Maladies. This is a good book, but a better book I would suggest is The Interpreter of Maladies. Is one book. Another book is, The Namesake. The Namesake. This also was made into a film starring Tabu and Irfan Pathan, I think. Irfan Khan, sorry. Irfan Khan, not Irfan Pathan, the cricketer, but the actor, the great actor Irfan Khan. Okay. Ruskin Bond, childhood favorite. Ruskin Bond is author, he's multiple award winner. He is author of books like Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. He lives in Uttarakhand. Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. I think you should read. Kind of people, my friends, that we would thoroughly enjoy. See, reading brings us in conversation with great minds. They help us build a worldview that would help us deepen our understanding of the world around. And of course, more importantly, they help us become a little more mature and, react accordingly, basically. So, all learning is about, ignoring, reacting, and acting. These three things, my friends. So, India has recently signed a $100 billion free trade agreement with EFTA, European Free Trade Agreement, Association, a 4-member European bloc. European Free Trade Association, a 4-member European bloc. Of these, which of these 5? One is not a member of the EFTA. France is not a member. So, Switzerland, Norway, you can pronounce it as Liechtenstein or Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein and Iceland. Liechtenstein is a pretty small country. In fact, I would say it is, if I'm not wrong, the 6th smallest country in the world. It is squeezed between Switzerland and, Austria. So, just to bring in, see, under this particular free trade agreement, see, this agreement has been 16 years in the making. For the last 16 years, we have been talking, my friends. 16 years, we have been talking, those 4 countries on one side and we at the other side. What we have finally done is that we have told them, okay, guys, you got a lot of money, you got a lot of good technology. So why don't you invest in India? Yeah. And they wanted something in return from us, that is reduced taxes. They use the word tariff. Tariff is tax. Remember this. Tariff is tax. So they said, okay, guys, why don't you, Indians, why don't you reduce taxes? So we said, okay, fair. And they in return promised investments to the tune of $100 billion. So they are going to invest $100 billion in India over the next 15 years. Next 15 years. In return, India will reduce taxes on imports. That is, when we import from these 4 countries, the taxes we charge will be lowered. So these goods become cheaper, and of course they gain access to a wider market. That's India. India is one of the biggest markets in the world. So that's about this particular deal. Nothing extraordinary, my friends. You can always simplify things, but the money will come from these 4 countries. We have said that you should invest in India. Well, just to bring in capitals, Iceland's capital is Reykjavik. That's the capital. Liechtenstein, Vaduz. What is it? Vaduz. Norway, Oslo, OSLO. Switzerland has no capital. There are only 2 countries in the world that have no capital. One is Nauru, Nauru, which is a tiny island in the Pacific Ocean. And the second one is Switzerland, which is, as you know, is a country in the heart of Europe. It has no capital, my friends. constitutionally no capital, but the government sits in a city called Bern, B-E-R-N, and that's what most people think is the capital of this country. So since most people think it's the capital of the country, just because most people think it's the capital of the country, we shouldn't believe that. But yes, the government sits in the city of Bern, B-E-R-N. Which country has bestowed the Measles and Rubella Champion Award on India, my friends? The Measles and Rubella Partnership Award has given away this wonderful award to India for the simple reason that India has been greatly successful in controlling the spread of these two diseases. The good thing about these diseases is that they are vaccine preventable diseases. That is, we can prevent these vaccine these diseases from breaking out in our children with the use of vaccine. And the best part again here is that that these vaccines, the rubella vaccine, the measles vaccine, are part of the universal immunization program in India. Okay, so they are already being administered to our children, because of which over 50 districts have not reported any case of measles or rubella in the last 2 years. So we have been greatly successful. We have been doing quite a great work as far as protecting our children is concerned. Okay, so I guess that's about it. From here, let's go to the next one. Services has won the Santosh Trophy. It has won the Santosh Trophy, for the 7th time. They defeated Goa, I guess. They defeated Goa in the final. What's the Santosh Trophy? My friends, this is called the National Football Championship of India. National Football Championship is the name, okay? But historically, it has been called the Santosh Trophy. Now it has now become National Football Championship. It was first played in 41. That's quite a time, isn't it? 1941. This time it has been won by Services, which defeated Goa in the final. And also know, my friends, that there was the best player of the tournament was a guy called Samir Murmu. Samir Murmu was the best player of the National Football Championship. It started in August last year, ended just recently in the second week of March. Okay, so that's a bit about Santosh Trophy. And why don't you find out why it's called Santosh? You'll know a fascinating story. I would have loved to share that with you, but you could also find out on your own, basically. So again, another sport here. We have the Anthony De Mello Trophy, which is given to the winner of the India-England Test Championship. See, there is something weird about this. When England plays India in India, the winner is given the Anthony De Mello Trophy. Okay, he was a BCCI administrator, and this trophy was started in 1951. Okay, now when India goes to England and wins the trophy there, or India goes to play England in England, the winner is given the Pataudi Trophy. He was given the Pataudi Trophy. Remember this, okay? So we have this Anthony De Mello, who was a BCCI administrator, and he gave his name to the trophy, of course. The winner of the England-India Test Series played in India is given the Anthony De Mello Trophy, while the winner of the England-India Championship, Test Championship played in England, is given the Pataudi Trophy. Okay, let's go to the next one. I guess we'll clear this. Yeah. And the next one would be like, this is a nice, interesting question. This is about a 3D mosque. See, this mosque that came up in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah. There is a place called Jeddah. You must be familiar with this place, Jeddah. Okay, this Jeddah is home to the world's first 3-dimensional printed mosque. This is machine. Think about it. This is a 3D machine printed mosque. So the minarets are also basically very different, aren't they? Yeah. So, I mean, 3D printing is there in a large parts of India. In fact, there are buildings that have been built in India using 3D technology. But this is the first time that they built a mosque in Saudi Arabia using 3D printer technology. Okay. So this, as you can see here, is Turkey. Turkey is the capital, is a new name rather of Turkey. We usually call it Turkey, but this is Turkey. Okay. So I guess not much to discuss except that this particular, there is this particular mosque that has been that has come up in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. Which state has launched India's first government-backed over-the-top OTTs, over-the-top platform, C-Space. Now, this is not a great platform. I had a look at it. It has a few movies. It has a few documentaries and all that. Kerala government has come up with this because it says that there is pretty little choice available on OTTs that are there today. I wonder who was actually framing that, but any which way, that's the idea. C-Space is backed by the government of Kerala, and if you want to watch a movie here, all you have to do is to pay 75 rupees and you could watch a movie on C-Space in this place, on the web, basically OTT, over the top platform, C-Space. Now, the CMs here. Telangana is Revant Reddy. Revant Reddy. Okay. Then Gujarat, Bhupinder Bhai Patel. Karnataka, we all know the CM there, Siddaramaiah. Tamil Nadu, MK Stalin. Muthuvel Karunanidhi Stalin. Okay. I guess there is pretty limited amount of stuff that we could discuss concerning this question. Yeah, this is a nice question. This is Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan is considered one of the world's finest directors. This guy has directed Oppenheimer, which won the Oscar for Best Picture. Best Picture. It won 7 Oscars, my friends. 7 Oscar awards. And see, Oscar awards are technically called Academy Awards. They are called Academy Awards. We, for our convenience, use the word Oscar, but they are Academy Awards. And Oppenheimer, my friends, was this it's based on the life and times of the American physicist Robert Oppenheimer, who was the head of the Manhattan Project, which built the atomic bomb. The world's first atomic bomb. And this is based on this movie is based on a book called The American Prometheus. American Prometheus. Why don't you find out who is a Prometheus? Prometheus. You'll be, there is this Greek story and all that. You could learn a lot about Prometheus. So, American Prometheus was biography of Robert Oppenheimer. Now, this movie has won, as I repeated, as I mentioned earlier, and let me repeat, won 7 Oscars. 4 major Oscars it won would be the Best Picture, Best Director for Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan. 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 Best Director. Then Best Actor. Best Actor Oscar went to a guy called Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy. He played the role of the lead protagonist, that is Oppenheimer. And Best Supporting Actor went to Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey. You would be familiar with Robert Downey Jr. if you are familiar with Iron Man. You are familiar with Iron Man? He is the Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. Best Supporting Actor, Best Actor Cillian Murphy. Best Director Christopher Nolan. Also, he was a producer, part producer, one of the producers of Oppenheimer, and that's why he also got this award, Best Picture award. So there are other technical awards, the 3 technical awards, but these are all major awards. So this is the kind of movie you should watch. It's a pretty good movie, but of course, a lot more. We could discuss one more, since I mentioned Best Actor for Cillian Murphy. Poor Things won Best Actress Award for Emma Stone. Emma Stone won the Best Actress Award for the film The Poor Things. Poor Things. All of these films have won something or the other, but we'll stick to this particular question, my friends. Okay. From here, let's go to, of course, a technical thing, urban frame survey, which the government of India is using the Bhuvan platform, which is again, basically it's a more of a what we call remote sensing platform, and this is being used by MOSPI. MOSPI is the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, headed by Rao Inderjit Singh. Rao Inderjit Singh. So this is quite technical. I went through this entire thing, and they are going to use this to divide a large urban area into small blocks, and this is primarily meant to collect better data sampling for national sample survey and all that stuff. So Rao Inderjit is the Minister of Statistics and Program Implementation. Minister of Electronics and Information Technology is headed by Ashwani Vaishnav. Ashwani Vaishnav. This guy is is a former IAS officer, and he is also, my friends, he's from Rajasthan. Ashwani Vaishnav is also, rail minister. And one more thing about him is that, he belonged to the Odisha cadre of the IAS, but he quit the IAS after working for about 20 years or something. He quit, and then 14 years he worked, and he left. He went to the US, where he did his MBA from Wharton School, basically Wharton University. Wharton School, considered one of the world's best business schools, my friends. Wharton. Okay. Minister of Science and Technology. There is no full-time cabinet minister, but yes, this is a ministry, headed by Jitendra Singh. Corporate Affairs, Nirmala Sitharaman. Commerce and Industry, Piyush Goyal. So I guess that's about it. All the ministers have come here. So, yeah. This is Kishore Makwana, who is the new chairperson of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. This is a constitutional body. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes is headed by Kishore Makwana. What about the choices here? The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes is headed by Harsh Chauhan. Harsh Chauhan. National Commission for Backward Classes is headed by Hansraj Ahir. Hansraj Gangaram Ahir, but you write Hansraj Ahir. What about UPSC? It's headed by Manoj Soni. Finance Commission, the 16th Finance Commission is headed by Arvind Panigaraya. Okay, I guess that's a bit about this question. So we could discuss all the choices, and that's important, my friends. Again, some research body, Sherni, She Research Network India is aimed at bringing in gender equality in especially education and other related aspects, science and technology and all. Was launched by the University Grants Commission, which is headed by Mamidala Jagdish Kumar. M. Jagdish Kumar. Okay, one choice is fine. Why don't we look at the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research? This is headed by Dr. N. Kalai Selvi. Dr. N. Kalai Selvi. So these are all aspects of focused on improving gender diversity and everything in the academia. Okay, which company has come up with Devin, which is the world's first, I was surprised when I read this, the world's first autonomous software engineer. And this is also, it has also worried a lot of software engineers across, the world, because this particular software engineer autonomous artificial intelligence software engineer can write code with prompts, of course. It can work in teams or it can work on all by itself. So I was quite surprised when I first saw this, my friends. In any case, these are world-class companies. This is, developed by an American company, Cognition. That's not Cognizant, it's Cognition, my friends. Microsoft is headed by Satyanarayana Nadella. I'll just discuss one more company, Satyanarayana Nadella, and IBM Arvind Krishna. I would normally discuss all the choices, but we'll just skip to two of them. Yeah. So from here to the next one. This is again another AI based. This is a teacher. Okay. Tomorrow someone is going to replace me as well, and for till then you will have to suffer me. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Iris. This is Iris. The Kerala government has set up they have a collaboration with a company called Maker Labs, MAKER-LABS. Maker Labs is one word. They have a tie-up with Maker Labs, and they have brought in this teacher into a secondary school, my friends. Okay, this is a surprising part, but I have not seen any kind of work about this. I've just read about this, but maybe for this question, nothing more than that. Okay, so this is Iris. Thiruvananthapuram, as you know, is the capital of Kerala, and it's also home to the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. As you know, Vikram Sarabhai is the father of India's space program. Okay, let me clear this. Bharat Shakti, a tri-service military exercise, took place recently, was held in Pokhran, Rajasthan. Pokhran is also the home of the first nuclear test. In fact, all of India's nuclear tests, 3 of them had taken place at Pokhran in Rajasthan. The first took place in, on May 18th, 1974. Remember this? May 18th, 1974. 24 years later, May 11th, 1998, we tested nuclear devices again. 2 days later, we tested another 2 devices. So, first test, 1974, 2 more days of testing in 1998, May 1998. This particular, the thing about this particular military exercise is all about made in India weapons. Only made in India weapons were used in this trilateral military exercise. Okay, that's something, my friends. I've been to this place, Chandipur. It is home to 2 DRDO labs. Okay, it's you would find this 2 DRDO labs like Proof and Experimental Laboratory. Proof and Experimental Laboratory. It's not called PEL, it's called PEX something basically. And it's also home to a missile testing center, okay, which is like, Dr. Abdul Kalam Island is just pretty close to Chandipur. It's off the coast of Chandipur. And I'm given to understand it's one of the only 2 places in the world where the sea goes back 4 kilometers. Sea goes back 4 kilometers. Okay, recedes low, 4 kilometers during low tide. That's about it. Okay, let's go from here. Yeah, as per the UNDP report, my friends, which is basically, the title, this is the Human Development Index. This index measures human development on certain scales. What is life expectancy index, education index, and gross national index, gross national income index. Please remember, this is again education index. What do they measure? They look at expected years of schooling, for someone who's in school, an infant, or someone who's, a very young child, or someone who's an adult. They look at the mean years of schooling. Okay. Now, coming to life expectancy at birth, yes, some countries have it very high at Japan, Monaco, and all this. But in India, it's okay. It's like about currently, I think it's about new data is not there. But if you go by the old data, it's about 64. Okay. It's likely to be around 70 now, my friends. Again, this is just a conjecture. What about India's rank in the Human Development Index? India's rank is 134, my friends. What are the top 3 countries in the world in the Human Development Index? The top 3 countries would be, the top country would be Switzerland. Number 1, Switzerland. Okay. Number 2 would be Norway. Number 2 is Norway. Number 3 is Iceland. Iceland. Okay. So number world's best country in terms of human development is Switzerland, followed by Norway and Iceland. The 193 countries have been named, have been ranked, and the 193rd country is Somalia. 193rd country is Somalia. Yes, you heard it right. Somalia is the least developed country in the world in terms of human development, my friends. Okay. India's rank is 134. China is 75th. China is 75th. So that's a bit about this question, my friends. Let's go to the next one. Who is the new chairperson of Prasar Bharati? This is again, there is this question, Navneet Kumar Sehgal. These two are the new election commissioners of India. 2 election commissioners of India. Ganesh Kumar and Sukhbir, both are retired IAS officers, but they have been brought in to take up the roles of the 2 EC positions that are vacant now. Okay, because one of them went vacant because Arun Goyal resigned recently. Yeah. So I guess that's about this question as well. With which nation has India signed a memorandum of understanding and cooperation in the sphere of dispute resolution? Because we have had multiple disputes concerning especially companies and taxation, arbitration, everything. So this is with Singapore. A lot of these companies have that are investors in India, have businesses in India, have regional headquarters in Singapore. So there is an arbitration going on. So they say that why don't we actually sit down, thrash it out, make sure that there is no rancor, there is no kind of there is no kind of would say there is the right word would be rancor actually, RANCOUR, which is ill will, no malice actually. Okay. And do you know the capital of Senegal? Senegal's capital is Dakar, 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 Dakar. Maldives, is Male, Male. Madagascar. Okay, let me write Dakar. See, I was looking for a word that would be a more simpler version of something like rancor, but I was little tough. I found it a bit quite tough to come up with them. But ill will is a good word. Madagascar. Antananarivo, that's the capital. Antananarivo. Okay. RIVO. Malaysia's capital, there are 2 capitals, Kuala Lumpur and Putrajaya. Putrajaya. From here, let's go to the next one. Who are the new election commissioners of India? We just mentioned their names, and these 2 are the new election commissioners of India. Who is the Chief Election Commissioner of India? The Chief Election Commissioner of India is Rajiv Kumar. Rajiv Kumar. Okay. So again, Ranji Trophy. I love cricket. Most Indians love cricket. And this is, Ranji Trophy was started sometime in 1934-35, if I'm not wrong. But at the time it was started, the Ranji Trophy was called the Cricket Championship of India. Do you know that? This is the original name of this Cricket Championship of India, 1930s when it was started basically. Okay. Later it was renamed, Ranji Trophy after the great royal and cricketer Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji. So the 23-24 season has been won by Mumbai, my friends. Has been won by Mumbai. So they defeated, I think, Vidarbha in the final. So there's barely anything else that we could discuss here. Let's look at something else. Shall we? Okay. That's about it. Have a lot of fun. Thank you for being here. Stay curious.